The following is a Journey into Comics Network production.
Good luck.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Game Addicts Podcast, the show where we talk about the modern and retro games that we play and collect. I'm your host, Brando. Joining me here today, as always, is this podcast player to Mike.
How's it going?
It's going pretty good. Now, I want to say that because coming up here for a little while, you know, as we've said on the show before, you're now our job now requires you to have special projects and stuff that you're taking on.
Right.
So, as always, might have an asterisk on it. Because for right now, we're almost going week to week on whether or not you're actually going to be on the show.
Right.
So while planning kind of sucks, because then it's like I got to try and figure it out. Every single time that we can, obviously we're going to have you on the show because you are the player too.
Yes.
So how's it been going for you?
It's going.
It's going here too.
Nights.
Yeah, you switched nights for a little bit. Of course, we are just coming off of the Thanksgiving and Black Friday, Cyber Monday holiday weekend. It's funny because it's like we have turned that into like such a consumerist holiday now.
Yes.
A lot of people are like rattling in the streets about it, but I mean, a lot of good deals were had. I only had 2 pickups, and they were both memory cards.
Mine too. Well, for gaming related, only 1 memory card, but we also bought the Echo.
That is right. I remember hearing about that because Joanna was being pretty secretive.
Yes.
About that with Caitlin, about saying we're going to have a guest on for their podcast
right.
over on the Journey to Comics Network, butt stuff. But then she wouldn't tell her who it was, and it was actually Alexa.
Yes. I think it's pretty neat. It's pretty neat. But
nothing like having Skynet in your house.
Right. Right.
But okay, so for Black Friday, I only had like the memory cards pick up, but one of those memory cards is for our recording setup. The other memory card is for this.
The Switch.
Now, I've mentioned before I had it on layaway. I originally just got the regular gray, went back in and switched it for the Mario Odyssey edition. And, well, I was able to swing picking it up just yesterday as we record this. And I remember we got there, we were going to pick up a few things, and I'm like, whoa. Hey, hon. So, yeah, I can pick that up now. She goes, yeah, you could. I'm like, hold on. You're not going to fight me on it? I wasn't ready for that. I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting a... No, it was right there, and so I went and picked up my Switch, and of course this is the Mario Odyssey one. As I have said before, I'm gonna move some stuff out of the way. Nice, awesome Mario Odyssey box. I love that it's not just like some systems do like a slip cover for like their design for that. If it's a Destiny, I remember seeing one with Destiny where it's just the plain PS4 box or whatever. Actually, no, sometimes they have the white one, so that one might be different, but. This one, of course, comes with the 2 Mario Red Joy-Cons. It comes with a download code for Mario Odyssey, Rabble, and then it comes with a exclusive Mario Odyssey carrying case.
What I like about this case or this cover is that it's not just like it is scenes from the game, but it's pictures of scenes from the game. And that's what I like. On
the back, we got a big kind of a poster-like type thing with Mario throwing Cappy and all the different various things that you can kind of take control over. The T-Rex, the Goomba, because I didn't know that you can take over the Goomba. Can you? I haven't tried it yet.
You can stack them.
Oh yeah.
You stack them up. That's how you get some of the moon stars or
the like the power moons.
The power moons, but there's also shine sprites.
Shall we open this thing up?
Shall we?
Because you didn't get a chance to do this because you bought your second hand.
Yes.
I've already unboxed it, guys. I couldn't contain myself. I couldn't wait a whole other day, but...
I'm assuming it's in the case.
Of course. I haven't got a screen protector yet. I kind of forgot about that until I was on my way home. So I've been very careful with it. But yeah, I got my Nintendo Switch.
I like the red controllers.
I do too.
I really like them.
I really love it, dude. I think it pops with the black, you know? And then, of course, when you have the, like the regular gray little controller holder thing, it looks good in there too. They actually have a Mario Odyssey controller holder.
Right, and we also saw today the larger Joy-Con controller.
It's like a charger adapter holder thing.
But it's larger to make it more ergonomically correct.
Yeah, it's made by Power A, I think. So it is a third party. But yeah, dude, I got my Switch. Pretty neat. Here's the case here. Got Cappy on the front, on the back, and it's in the Switch. It has like the global map. Has like a little schematics of the Odyssey ship. I mean, it's pretty cool. Then you got your spot here where you can hold your games.
Yeah.
And you can also set this up like this.
Yeah, and it
so then,
stand.
so yeah, you can set your Switch up kind of like that, upside down. But
right.
But yeah, dude. And then of course,
the charging dock.
Yeah, the charging dock. Of course, I took everything out already. You know, and then you get download code. Already got redeemed, and then of course you get
non-charging
Skyrim.
What?
I picked up Skyrim.
Why are you doing this? You're gonna show that to Joanna, aren't you?
Because
you're gonna make her play it, and she's gonna be mad.
I'm currently playing it right now. And of course I have the volume down, but there it is right there. So yeah, I just started, playing Skyrim. The reason why it makes sense for me to buy it, I had never really put that much time into Skyrim, kind of like how you did with Fallout.
Right.
I own Skyrim.
Well, that's not true because I put a lot of time into Fallout.
Well, now. But what I'm saying is that you played Skyrim, you played Elder Scrolls before you played Fallout.
Day one, yeah.
I played Fallout before I ever really got into Elder Scrolls. I played a little bit of Oblivion with Rob. It was okay.
It's not Skyrim.
Skyrim
is definitely the best.
But, I mean, this game looks fantastic on the Switch.
It does.
And, I mean, it is the full version.
How are the controls?
It is fine.
They feel about the same?
Yeah.
Well, you wouldn't know.
I mean, no, I did play a little bit of Skyrim.
Okay.
I played less than 10 hours. Okay, so I didn't get super far into the game, but I did play it. I have it on Xbox 360. I got the Legendary Edition, the one that comes with all the the DLCs and stuff. But then the controls are a little wonky because A is of course you're confirmed for everything. B brings up your little menu here for you to be able to
You can change that though.
Yeah, yes, you can. So you can make it whatever you want, but I'm already kind of used to it, Right stick changes your view, left stick crouches and hides. What is that? L1 runs, and then of course this kind of, the button, like the guard button and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. And I downloaded the Snipper Clips because we're going to check that out. Downloaded Octopath, which I played here. Snipper Clips is now available in physical edition for $20. And I thought that would be a really cool little game to play with the wife or something. It's one of those games where you each have a Joy-Con. It's a 2-player puzzle solver. It's not something that's going to be the be all end all, but it's unique to Nintendo.
Right.
But yeah, I did hide the fact that I got Skyrim from you because you said something about all you got was the Pro Controller with it. I said yeah.
And then when we were going through the Devil's Playground, I said, you can buy Skyrim now for this.
And I went, yeah, I can. So yeah, I'm a little devil sometimes, but I picked up Skyrim and I picked up the Joy-Con controller, or I'm sorry, the Pro Controller, the official Pro Controller. Of course, we tried this out when Rob brought his over right after the launch.
Best feeling controller out in my opinion.
Oh, dude, I love it. I was playing Skyrim with it. Here. Here.
That's all right. We don't have to.
No.
It just vibrated.
I'm playing with it.
One.
Yeah. don't know how well you're gonna be able to see it with the light in here. There you go. It's all synced up and ready to go. Hit the W button there. Yeah. I gotta wipe the dust off of it. The screen.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I forget you have like no stamina.
I'm just starting, man. I'm just starting, and I always play a warrior in most stuff that I play. That's just kind of like my thing. I'm like the big barbarian dude, you know. Like one of my favorite lines ever in a game was EverQuest, Champions of Norrath. I haven't done a single thing with my trees yet. I literally last night, I was playing Mario Odyssey. I got to the first or the third kingdom. The play kind of like where I got to when I played it here, and then I turned it off, and then I booted up Skyrim just to check it out, see what it looked like on the TV, and then in handheld mode.
Oh, I'm in the wrong one.
But I was watching a review for this, and it's like the visuals have some of the visuals from the remastered version.
Yeah.
Like other than that, like it looks like somewhere in between the regular version that was released on last gen and then the remaster.
Yeah, right here's the change.
And then it also has.
I would definitely change B to jump, especially on the Pro controller.
Yeah.
I would totally do B to jump and X to your map open.
It does come with all the DLC, Dawnguard, Hearthfire, and Dragonborn, and you can play, of course, with the Joy-Cons. You can play with the.
Oh no!
Huh?
They changed the.
Oh, what are you doing to me? Reset default. There you go. And of course you can use your amiibo to get like some stuff. The Zelda stuff is actually in the game.
Yeah,
but,
you can search it.
So you can actually get it. When you open it up, there is nothing on the inside. There's no map, no nothing. So that's a bit of a downfall. But this is also how many times has this game been released? All that kind of stuff. So
there wasn't one with the Legendary Edition, I believe.
Yes, there was. I want to say there was. Because I was surprised that was still in there.
Okay. It's pretty neat. It is interesting. Interesting
So yeah,
indeed.
man. So I didn't know if you know this, but you can buy Skyrim on the Switch.
Yeah, right now the next Skyrim that's getting purchased is VR.
Now, I did not buy this just because of the running joke. I was always planning on buying Skyrim for the Switch. As soon as I saw video of it,
yeah,
I was buying it.
Right.
I knew I was. I want to get LA Noire as well. I want to get. Now here's the thing. Do I want to get Breath of the Wild? Absolutely. But I already own a copy of it.
I know.
So that's the thing, is that like I own a copy of Skyrim, but I didn't put a lot of time into it. I put a lot of time into Breath of the Wild. I obviously haven't beat it, but of course the wife demands that we get Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, so I got to get that.
Yes, you should.
And so I got the controller. She liked both this controller, and she actually liked the little Joy-Con controller as well. She thought that was fine.
The more and more I play with it, the more and more I don't dislike it.
Okay, I mean it's not bad. It
Right.
does the job. But, this was my big Christmas pickup. Merry Christmas to me. And I'm going to get a few more. As I said, I want to get LA Noire because I want to replay that. And then we're looking at maybe Mario Kart and Zelda. But I got some more monies. And I got to tell myself to stop because you lured me out today to buy more stuff. And
we're looking at a couple here in front of us.
Yeah. Really,
but in my defense, you're extremely happy that you did because three of these games, and I say three because one is a double, you were planning on getting them out.
Last week I picked up Devil May Cry 2 and 3. The 3 I got the Greatest Hits, which is the special edition version, which they added some more stuff to.
Right.
And I don't really heard of that so much, where the Greatest Hits gives you actually more content than the original version.
Right.
And it's not much. It gives you play as Virgil, new Jester boss enemy, new very hard mode, new turbo mode, and more. And then I also swiped the manual from
we don't do that at all.
I swiped the manual from a regular version.
Yeah, we don't do that here at all.
Because this one had the manual as well. And this one has actually a 2-disc. I'm not sure what the thing is. I rented Devil May Cry 2 and didn't like it. I've only ever really played the first one, but I have the first one. And it was like that thing of I have 1, I got 2, 3 is by all means everybody said is good. So one of these days I'll sit down and I'll replay. Maybe we'll do it when we're streaming. Hey, let's go through the Devil May Cry series and check that out. So then yeah, I'll just go through the last bit of these. So this has been in there for the last couple of weeks, and this is the Mass Effect 1 Collector's Edition for the Xbox 360. I own this technically.
On a technicality.
Because on my very first big gaming binge, the dude that had the shop downtown had this, and it's in a really rough shape. Like somebody just like stomped on it.
But it did have all the contents inside of it.
Besides the game disc,
right.
And besides this. So for this version, the game is on this little like cardboard package. And you open it up, and there's a disc on one side. That's the right, or the left side. That's the collector's edition. I have that disc already.
Right.
Then there's the regular game disc over here, and then of course it's got like, your regular game cover for the game because the collector's edition has a different stylized cover. My little vinyl cover is also cracked and ripped. I had to tape it.
Right.
But inside it comes with the printed Galactic Codex, which has all the primary codex entries. It doesn't have the secondary, I don't think. But really cool that you get a printed version of that. And then, of course, you get the manual, which is the stock manual for the game. And then you get the art of Mass Effect 1, which I have the big book for this that Nate hooked me up with many years ago. But I have all of the extra stuff in here, and except for the game disc and this whole cardboard thing. And the tin is all beat up. This is in immaculate condition. My vinyl thing is all beat to heck. I got the whole thing last time for $5.
So it's hard to pass it up.
And for this, it was $25. Now, this limited collector's edition was only available through GameStop.com.
Right.
You couldn't even go to the store and get it. You had to go on the website and get it. This is back in 2007. And I didn't even know about Mass Effect. I didn't play it until exactly 1 year later in November of 2008. Is when I was looking up videos for KOTOR. And I just, in the suggested videos on YouTube, Mass Effect popped up. I'm like, oh yeah, BioWare did another game after KOTOR and after Jade Empire. And it was Mass Effect. I remember seeing the ad for it. So I started watching it, and then I didn't even see gameplay. I saw the dialogue system. I went, sold. And I didn't have a 360 at the time. Rob did.
Right.
So I asked Rob if I could borrow his 360 to play the game, if I went and got it. And we actually went, as I described on the Mass Effect episode, went to Circuit City, going out of business, picked up the regular copy of Mass Effect, went home, hid it from the wife because she'd already got mad at me for spending too much money that day, and played the crap out of it. The last two here, they are...
You're welcome.
Yes, because they were in your bin for some reason, because at our local disc replay, they have bins of Game Boy games that they keep in the back because the front area where they have these like these little lock cases where they have their games in for like behind the glass and all that kind of stuff. Well, they'll put more in over time, but then they keep a whole box of them back there because people just keep bringing them in.
Which is funny because these two here should have been in the case, in my opinion.
There was a lot of them in there that should have been in the case.
Yes.
But they have so much content that they need to try and push out before they put stuff out. And this is Mother 1 and 2 for Game Boy Advance, and then Mother 3. Now, I'm pretty sure that these are both repro.
Let me see the cards.
I mean,
let me see one of them.
They look really good because the people that do these make a really good version of these. But I want to say that we never got a copy of Mother 3 in the States. And Mother 1 and 2...
They're repros because look. See how it's glued?
Yep.
It's glued up top.
Yep. But as long as it plays, as long as the ROM plays, I'm not against owning some repros. I have the Mega Man Wily Wars or Wily's Revenge, whatever it is. It's on, I think it's Wily Wars. It's on the Genesis. You were there when I got that.
Yes. That was like $8.
Huh?
It was like
it was actually marked at like 80, and it was actually only like 60.
Right.
It was because I was actually gonna bite the bullet and get it, but then they said it was only 60. But for these two both, it was 13 apiece, which ordering them online, brand new from somebody is like usually like $20. So
It's a good pickup.
dude, I saw those and I couldn't say no. Absolutely not. So you have a couple pickups as well.
Going, since you were talking about Skyrim, I bought my wife, because, she's a Skyrim fanatic, a sleeve, essentially, for the Xbox. Wow.
Wow.
Whoa. The PS4 Pro. And this is the tapestry here. It has the Dovahkiin in the front, and then another Dovahkiin with a shield off to the side. And obviously they're in the iron helm, like the classic thing. But it's really cool. But also these guys, when we bought this, it's a little wrinkled. I gotta smash it down and flatten it out. But they also sent us a second one for free. I didn't order it. The Monster Hunter World, which I actually really like the cover of it. So it looks like it's that T-Rex looking thing with a red streak to it. It looks really cool. So we got that. That was kind of like one of my wife's gifts. We've been searching for it for a while, and we finally found one. I believe it's because VR came out, so they finally put them up.
Yeah.
And so it's really neat. It's just something to add to her obsession, which I do a lot. And then today we picked up some stuff. Another Tales game that I don't have.
Tales of Legendia?
Legendia, yeah.
Legendia. It's for the PS2.
Yes.
You're a big fanatic on the Tales series,
yes.
So now you're almost required to just have to hunt down every single one. And they had a movie version of Tales of Vesperia on Blu-ray.
Yes.
And I saw that and was like, ooh. And the fact is that did you ever pick up Vesperia yet?
Yes, I have Vesperia.
Okay, because it's only on the 360.
Vesperia?
Tales of Vesperia is only on the 360, except for Japan, who got a PS3 port of it. Tales of Vesperia is a 360 exclusive.
You might be right. I may not have it, actually. Now that I'm thinking about it, I don't
we'll
have any
to track that down
games.
because that is actually like...
I don't have any Tales.
I know that you love Symphonia and stuff like that, but Vesperia was reviewed pretty well.
Yeah. I'll pick it up.
Go ahead and keep talking.
This I've never played. I assume it's just like the other Tales games. It normally is. I don't really have anything to say about it because I don't really know anything about it. Other than I must own all of them. And this other one I stole from you, which is okay because the second I showed you Mother 1 and 2 and 3, you ripped them out of my hand, which I did the same thing to you. I have been looking for this game for a long time, and I loved this game growing up. It is Super Monkey Ball. If you don't know what this is a great, fun game to sit down and play with your friends, your family. It's old. It's your monkey in a ball, and they do monkey target, which you launch out of a cannon, and then you have to open your ball and glide and land on a target. And then they have monkey racing, which is kind of like Mario Kart, I believe, without power-ups. Monkey fight, monkey blizzards, which you play pool, obviously, monkey bowling, and monkey golf. It's a fun little game. I really enjoyed it a lot. Played it a lot. And it was a must-have for me. I'm a little disappointed that neither one of these games that I picked up today had the manuals, but this is a game, Monkey Ball, I've been looking for ever since when I decided to pick up Retro Collection. This is one on my top list of must-have for the Cube. There are, I believe, 10 games that you must have. I cannot rattle them off the top of my head, but have to have this.
All right, so I've been comparing the scores for the Tales of games.
Yeah.
They're all about the same.
Yeah, it's good quality.
But, I mean, these are all from critics, so be that as it may. Tales of Legendia, Metacritic 72, IGN 7.7. Tales of Symphonia, You ready for this one?
It better be a 9.
IG an 8 out of 10.
Yeah.
GameFAQs 86%. Steam 9 out of 10.
Yeah, see, it's probably one of the better ones.
Tales of Exilia,
Which
8
have
out of 10.
Both of those, 1 and 2.
This is just the first one, 8 out of 10, 78% on Metacritic. Tales of Vesperia, 8.2 out of 10 on IGN, 79% on Metacritic. So, according to IGN, Vesperia is better than Symphonia.
I thought it was 86 on...
No, Tales was 8 out of 10, 86% on GameFAQs.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So, I was just like prodding because it's only 0.2 better.
Yeah.
But Vesperia is awesome. I played a little bit of that when I picked it up. It's really cool. It just, but we all have certain things. We all have, like, as collectors. For me, it's Mass Effect, of course. Mass Effect, Final Fantasy, and stuff like that. A lot. Anytime I see anything of that kind of stuff, I usually try to pick it up. And Metal Gear to some extent as well.
Minus Tales.
But obviously, yeah, dude, the way it's growing, dude. Anytime you see a Tales game.
So far, I picked up every one I've seen.
Yeah. Well, and there's a few that you've talked yourself out of, and then you go back later and get it.
The only one that I've talked myself out of is because I wanted the collector's edition of it.
Was that the Exilia?
Exilia 1 and 2. But when we looked it up, it was like $190 for each one of them. And I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna buy this one. So
right on. Well,
I believe that wraps up our pickups.
Pickups, yes. But I do have 2 games here that I want to talk about really quick. These aren't pickups. I've had these games for a little bit. I actually talked about one of them on like an episode here. 3D Dot Game Heroes. We did an episode just a little while ago about backlog.
Yes.
And I played 2 games that are not in my backlog. Or they are in my backlog, but weren't in that episode. Because here's what it is. I actually moved the PS3 to the back. And I told myself, I'm going to sit here and I'm going to play PS3. I have a PS3 collection. Let's look at this. I'm like, where do I start? The first game in my collection, 3D Dot Game Hero. So I started going in alphabetical order. So I said before, this is like Zelda, right?
Yeah.
100% Zelda.
100% Zelda?
It is Zelda without being Zelda. You start off, and the hero of old puts this sword into the stone. The legendary hero can only pull the sword out.
Right.
And the king... he ended up taking the world from 2D into 3D, so everything's still pixelated. They're very well known. They're very well aware of the fact that they are in a video game. I want to say somebody even said, you know what? It might just be me, but I think things even smell better in 3D. And it's all pixelated, even in 3D. When you have full health, your sword gets bigger.
Right.
And so instead of shooting like a laser out, it's just boom, boom. You can just overtake the entire screen. You can actually upgrade the sword to get even bigger and wider, so it can get even better. You can customize your character completely.
Right.
You can make one completely from scratch, or you can take one of the ones they already have up.
Yeah.
They even have some pretty funny ones like dragons and stuff that you can play as. And then, of course, you have your dungeons. There's like these 6 dungeons you need to go to, and you need to, these orbs and these 6 elders or mages or sages. Like he's trying to it's a classic story. Like they're trying to go into like the dark realm or whatever.
Right.
And you need to try and stop it. And the dungeons it's old school style Zelda dungeons.
It's awesome.
Playing this game. And then, of course, in the first dungeon, what's your first treasure? Boomerang.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Boomerang.
It's the first castle. That's right.
And oh man,
I was thinking of the actual first.
Much fun. I'm playing this, and there you go. And then, of course, you get the dash shoes, and then it is 100% straight up Zelda ripoff, but it's so aware of it. It's so aware of itself, but that makes it fun. Because on the PS3, and you can only get this game on the PS3. It might be on Steam. I don't know.
I'll answer that question.
But it's published by Atlas and From Software, which of course they also make From Software are they're the ones that make Demon Souls, Dark Souls. Is that From Software?
I don't know off the top of my head.
Well,
I'm already looking up something else.
Ah, way to go. You're not even there with the Google machine.
No.
Man.
I'm not seeing it on. It doesn't have.
Yep, Dark Souls. They made Dark Souls and Bloodborne. And it said it was developed by Silicon Studios. Played this for a little bit. It was awesome. I can't wait to play more. The other game that I played, though, as I said, I started
It's
out.
on 3D or no? It looks like this looks like
Steam's.
Steam.
So this game is not on Steam. It is only on the PS3.
They have the 3D RPG.
So they got similar stuff. So as I said, I started in alphabetical order. This is before A. So when I go into the A's, what's the next game I haven't played?
Rogue.
Assassin's Creed Rogue. I picked this up about a year after it came out. And of course, this game came out along with Unity.
Right.
Unity was only on Xbox One and PS4. Rogue was only on 360 and PS3. And Rogue was a mess. I'm sorry, not Rogue. Unity.
Unity was a mess.
My bad, guys. Assassin's Creed Unity was they were making a whole new engine and all that kind of stuff. It was a buggy, complete mess. From what I hear, it's very playable now.
You don't fall through the ground when you fall off.
You're not missing your face.
You're not missing your face.
And having floating eyeballs.
Mm-hmm.
But this game...
Which is a common thing in Skyrim. It's a very common thing. You walk up to a guy, and he'll just have muscle tissue for a face.
Yeah.
No face.
Yeah.
Muscle tissue.
Hey, man. But, I mean, they got ugly, sons of bitches in that game anyway. So,
it fits.
I mean...
In my opinion, it fits.
Assassin's Creed Rogue. This is Black Flag 2.
Yeah.
100%. It's the same setup, except you're in the northeast waters. You're up there like with the icebergs.
Right.
You actually have to break the icebergs up because there's a big one, and when you break it up, it sends waves at you, so you have to like brace yourself for the waves and stuff. You can use that against enemies too. So like if there's a ship, you can shoot the iceberg and it'll hit them and damage them a little bit. The same kind of naval combat, the same sort of upgrades. Your character, his name is Shay Cormac. I can't remember his last name. He is an assassin. He is like he's like an Irish dude, so instantly likable there. And they're doing some stuff, they're doing their thing. But the thing is, he kind of turns.
Oh yeah. It's the one that turns into a Templar.
Mm-hmm. And
spoiler alert.
Starting the game off, you're roaming around Achilles' training grounds from Assassin's Creed 3.
Nice.
And you see young Achilles, and who walks up? Old Adewale from Black Flag. He became an assassin. Of course, there's a DLC for Black Flag where he does become an assassin. I think it's called like Freedom, Assassin's Creed Freedom Call or
something like that. Yeah.
But it's a pretty cheap DLC. But then he shows up, and then you eavesdrop on their conversation. There's something going on. Of course, Adewale, he's like an assassin from like the Caribbean area.
Right.
He travels up to talk to Achilles, who's built up this thing. What's awesome is that this fits in with the Assassin's Creed 3 era.
Right.
So you have almost like the trilogy, and the timeline goes Black Flag, which is Assassin's Creed 4, Rogue, and then Assassin's Creed 3 would be like the correct timeline.
Right.
The way that you should play it is 3, 4, Rogue.
Yeah.
Because it's almost kind of like the Tarantino effect or the Star Wars effect, where you should watch the original trilogy first, even though it's 3, 4, 5.
Right.
Because that means you're going to see stuff in 1, 2, and 3 that you're only going to really appreciate if you've already seen 4, 5, 6.
Right.
So that's why it's like it was really cool, because then by the time you get to 3 and you're playing as Connor, like the assassins in that area are shut down, and Achilles is old, still around, but they don't really see him as a threat anymore. And then he starts kind of training you to become an assassin.
Right.
And then Connor becomes like a big guy in the assassins in the early Americas, and kind of helps rebuild the order there. Now, what's cool is that I can't remember the original Native American name for Connor, so please excuse me. But Achilles gives him a new name. That way he can kind of like, this is your name, because people around here, they don't necessarily take kindly to the local natives. If they, you could probably pass for like Hispanic at best, as long as you which is funny because he carries around a dang tomahawk. He's got kind of like some feathers, so it's like
right.
Maybe all these Templars are just stupid. I don't know, but or maybe the locals just like, what's that guy running on the roof there for?
Right.
Oh, those dang Hispanics and their feathers. But Connor, they've already said that Achilles in Rogue, they've already brought up his son Connor. Mm-hmm. And so, like, I wonder if, as I play more of this, if this dude ends up killing Connor. Because that would be like, oh. But I got to play some of it. It's really good. Really, really good. I can't wait to play some more. And it's funny because I brought up all those cool games from my backlog, and I just started right at the beginning of the PS3. And I did something completely like I didn't like. I want to because I started playing Persona 5. I got a little bit further in that. Now
Right.
just inching my way through, going a little bit further. The only problem with Persona is that it's a game where, as fun as it is to play, it also puts me to sleep. The music is soothing and relaxing, and it's a lot of reading.
Yes.
So after I'm tired from work, from podcasting, from editing, from parenting, from cleaning, I'm like sitting there and relaxing and playing. All of a sudden I get too relaxed, I just fall asleep. So I think that's our gaming segment for today. We got some news though.
We got some news. News for you and you and you and you.
All from IGN. So, new single-player mode coming to Gran Turismo Sport in December. I remember you were really complaining about the fact that there was no real single-player mode, offline mode.
Everybody is complaining.
And we sort of talked about it today just a tad, and I was wondering if it's too little too late for this because a lot of the sales for this game have already done.
Yeah.
You know, and there might be some more, in legacy sales. People might go, okay, they've updated it. But that's the problem with video games now is that if you release 3D Dot Game Heroes and it's not very good, people are like, man, cool idea, didn't really get it.
Right.
And then they go back and then they fix everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's a good thing with Unity too. Unity, people bought that and was like, oh no, man, this sucks. And they traded it in. And now, maybe it was maybe less than a year later, they fixed everything. They fixed all the problems, fixed all the bugs. They're like, this is the game that we originally intended. And people are like, well, I've already moved on to something else.
My thing with Gran Turismo is that it may be too late, but at least they're trying to put it out in December. They're trying to push it because this
holiday.
This game, the Amazon had it. I could buy it now for like $50. It's brand new and it's already dropped in price, and it wasn't even on sale. It's just dropped in price because of the negativity that this thing has taken because there's no single player mode. Now, I haven't played this, so I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think the multiplayer, I don't know if you can buy custom parts and put it on your cars. I think you just buy the car and race them. I'm not sure how that works.
Patch 1.06 available on November 27th, so well after you've already heard this and recorded this, will roll out with 3 new cars, including the Vision GT model from Italian design house Zagato, Audi's Lost LMP1 racer, and the Shelby Cobra 427. According to Yamamochi. I completely just butchered the name there. The patch will also disable the online-only requirements for the livery editor, photo mode, and campaign mode. But he notes you still require internet access to save your progress. Okay. The GT Sports Free December update will include a new single-player mode called GT League. GT League is based on the classic GT mode of previous Gran Turismo games and will include a variety of familiar cup competitions, championships, and endurance races for players to progress through. The December update will also come with 12 new cars, several of which will bring a much-needed injection of retro content into the game. Those cars include the Mazda RX-7 Spirit R-Type A, Nissan Skyline GT-R V-Spec 2, Nissan Skyline GT-R V-Spec 2 Noor, Ford F-150 SVT Raptor, Lamborghini Countach LP400, Ferrari F40, Ferrari Enzo Ferrari.
How do they not have a Ferrari Enzo Ferrari?
KTM Expo R, Suzuki S-Swift Sport, Volkswagen Sambabis Type 2, Chris Holstrom's Concept 1967 Chevy Nova, Chevrolet Corvette Stingray convertible. According to Yamochi, Polyphony is planning to add approximately 50 cars to the game before March 2018. He also stresses updates will continue beyond March, and that players can look forward to the addition of new tracks. So they're
trying.
Yeah, they're trying.
I think that is their plan all along. The last bit of that, I think the single player might have been something that they had already been working on, but they weren't going to release it with the game. And I think that's really, if they would have released it with the game, because you're talking about, when did this game come out?
October.
By December, they're going to have a first player career mode already done.
They were working on it.
They were working on it before.
They just didn't want to delay it anymore.
Right.
They wanted to get it out.
I think they should have delayed it.
Probably. I mean,
I think they should.
If it's going to come out with that much negativity towards that. So
in our era of this new like visuals of gaming, if you need the time, don't ever release a game that is not complete. Look at Unity. Unity hurt bad.
Dude,
the first day they had like a 21 gigabyte download for patch fixes.
Oh, dude! I mean,
it's ridiculous.
A lot of games are having that big of an update, and then Unity really hurt the Assassin's Creed franchise because then the next year Syndicate came out. And Syndicate was reviewing well. It was like, hey, here we go. It's Assassin's Creed game. It came out. It's well made. There's very little bugs compared to last year. Here's a good entry, right? But then it's like the numbers were so low because people were like, It was a mixture of rushing it out. It was a mixture of fatigue by having a new entry about every year. And then they waited. They took some time off, and now Assassin's Creed Origins is out, and it's killing it. Right. Assassin's Creed Origins was one of the top-selling games for Black Friday, like on sale. Like it was only like $30.
Right.
I almost picked it up.
So I'm incorrect. I just looked it up. There are parts that you can buy.
That's cool.
For in the game, which I was very concerned about since it was going to be online, because as we both know, and anybody knows who's ever played a Gran Turismo game, one of the funnest things that you can do is like you buy a car and then you just soup it up as you go. Like I usually stick with RX-7 from beginning to end until like you get into supercars, which obviously your car is not going to be a supercar. It's just not going to happen. So yeah, I just wanted to make sure and correct myself because I was wrong.
So, I mentioned that Assassin's Creed Origins was one of the highest selling games on Black Friday. Switch is reportedly Black Friday's best selling overall system or product. Oops. And it wasn't even on sale. So Nintendo's new console for the Switch was the best selling product among online retailers on Thanksgiving, Black Friday, and Cyber Monday, while competing platforms like PS4 and Xbox One were available at a discount. Nintendo's console wasn't even on sale. So, quote, we had not expected such a record-breaking streak. Jefferies analyst Atul Goyal explained in a note to clients. This strong sales is going to create a robust install base, which is where game software will monetize over the next 5 to 7 years. Nintendo stock is up 88.5% for the year and is currently trading at $414.50 per share. On the software front, the clear champions for Black Friday, so I guess Origins wasn't the top, so I stand corrected. It says here that the champions of Black Friday for software were Wolfenstein 2 and Middle-earth Shadow of War.
Oh, wait, I was right. So somebody just put a false thing on. Sorry to interrupt you. I apologize. So far, there are no parts, so maybe the career mode will let us have parts.
Maybe. Of course, Switch is doing very, very well. Of course, mine didn't even count into that because since I put it on layaway, I think they already counted it as a sale for back in October. So, Switch is killing it, man.
It is. It's hot. I mean, but the good thing now is that they're putting a little bit more on the shelves, so you're seeing a lot more consoles. And I mean, they're selling out as fast as I can get them even now. The only place that I've seen a ridiculous amount is Best Buy.
We saw some I've seen some at Walmart, not a lot. When we went to GameStop earlier, they had quite a few. They're sitting there saying that they were available. This particular version right here, the Amazon version gave you a few extra things. It gave you some holders for the Joy-Cons to give you more of a controller shape when you're holding it sideways. It gave you that, and it gave you maybe something else. But that was going for $500 now.
Yeah.
To get the red Joy-Con model. And I'm very, very happy that I was able to get that version.
That's the version you wanted anyway.
Absolutely. So Persona 5 tops 2 million copies sold worldwide.
Pretty good for Persona.
Persona 5 is exclusive to PlayStation. It was only on PS3 and PS4. And it got 2 million. So, I mean, when you think about that, the Rise of the Tomb Raider got about that just on Xbox.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Persona is not as big as Final Fantasy, especially in the West. This is great news because this means that the series is picking up steam.
Right.
You know, it's getting bigger with each entry. It's getting and all that kind of stuff. So, great news for them. And so, the Persona 5 selling that many brings the total Persona series sales up to 8.9 million units overall. Because you got to think it was kind of an underground type game for the early PS1 era, and then PS2 came out. Persona 4 came out, and that was a big hit, but it also came out in 2008, 2 years after the PS3.
Right.
So a lot of people had already switched over. But then it was with the Vita that it kind of came back around again, and people who had Vitas enjoyed it. So then when they released 5 on the PS4 with a huge install base for, and then also for PS3, and the only reason why they did that was because of the install base for that in Japan.
Mm-hmm. And
so you have that, and you have the people over here in the West who maybe have played 4 on the Vita going, got that on the PS4? All right. Hell yeah. And then you got brand new people coming in for the very first time checking it out.
Right.
So great news for Persona 5. As much as I said that the game was putting me to sleep, it's not because I was boring. I was not bored. I was just tired.
Right.
I hit those 30s, and
I hear you. It just feels like your energy's drained almost all the time.
Dude, like
at work, I catch myself if I'm sitting in front of the computer doing stuff.
Yeah. I
catch myself just sitting there and my eyes just my eyes just close and I'm like wake up. You just get like spurts of exhaustion. I do. I don't know you, but I do.
DayZ beta release. Console versions coming in 2018. So, of course, DayZ was announced that it was coming to PS4 back in 2014. It was about a year after. Maybe was that at E3 that year that they announced that?
I don't know. I know that a lot of players that backed the game were getting very upset because they hadn't heard anything that was going on.
Right.
So it kind of, me and Matt talked about this, Klaus, where it just, there was a huge boom and everybody's like, DayZ, this is awesome, and then it just fizzled. Like it stopped. There was no more buzz, no more nothing.
People moved on to something else.
Because they wasn't going anywhere. They felt like they weren't going anywhere with it.
Right.
So it's nice to hear that they're following through with what they said that they were going to do.
DayZ is set to leave early access next year, as well as finally come to consoles. Lead producer Eugen Harton discussed how 2018 will be an important year for the game on DayZ's website. As soon as the PC beta is headed in a way we like, we are still committed to bringing DayZ to Xbox, where we have a large community of gamers patiently waiting, very patiently, for a truly hardcore online survival experience. Go ahead.
To interject, I feel like the PlayerUnknown Battlefield has kind of taken... Battleground, yeah.
You calling it Battlefield?
I don't know why. Battleground.
Oh, yeah.
Has become a phenomenon right now, and I have yet to play it. It is coming to consoles here soon. I'm interested to see it because it looks fun.
It's also coming to mobile.
It is on mobile now, but it's like it's not PlayerUnknown. It's named something else. I'm not going to play it on there. But
all of that will and must happen next year, meaning we're just about to start what could possibly be the most exciting year for DayZ so far. In short, DayZ will be out of early access next year and will also be finally delivered to console players in 2018. The console release of DayZ presumably refers to PS4 as well, since the survival game was announced for Sony system back at Gamescom 2014.
Gamescom 2014, that's right.
And the final release of DayZ was initially planned for early 2016. And DayZ has sold over 3 million copies on PC alone. I did buy it and check it out. It has a steep learning curve. And the controls are pretty complicated for a keyboard and all that kind of stuff. I felt so weird and off. The settings, it was so hard to see at night because it's pretty realistic.
Well, it's supposed to be that dark because you're supposed to carry a flashlight. So that is part of the game.
It was hard to see and do anything. And then, but I mean, yeah, that is good news because they're finally, as you said, coming through with it. I kind of agree with you that like PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds is sort of kind of came in out of nowhere and it's kind of swept up, and that game hasn't even left beta or anything like that yet either. But people are just loving the crap out of it.
I think it is.
No, it's not a beta yet. Then that's when
I mean, all I see nowadays is streaming.
Trust me, DayZ was DayZ and what was the other zombie survival game that was being made by Sony Online Entertainment before it got shut down? DayZ, and it was something else. But those two were also in early access / beta, and people were just playing and streaming it all the time. I mean, the game is completely playable, but it's just not final yet. It's got little niches and all that kind of stuff.
I say, so far I see people there, watching people play that shit. I mean, granted, I do need glasses. that's coming. I have that this coming Tuesday. But watching some of these guys, like I feel like I have a pretty good eye for shit. And watching some of these guys, like they see grass move the incorrect way, like a half mile away on these screens, and they're like, "There's a guy over there." Where? I didn't see shit. And then like it takes 30 minutes for them to creep up on this guy. And you're like, how the fuck did you see him?
Right.
Oh, the grass moved the wrong way.
How did you know that?
How do you know that? Like, it's just ridiculous that some of these guys' eye for that. Which, I like first-person shooters, but I am not that good, and I will never be that good. Like, so I applaud those that do that.
Well, I mean, I don't think we have much else to discuss today. Got a chance to get together and talk a little bit for the first time in a few weeks.
Yes.
Again, pretty variable on when you're going to be available going forward. Hopefully, we can get some of these big episodes that we want to get done, especially for our feature week that's coming up over on Podbean, which where you can find us over on GameAddicts.com or GameAddictsPodcast.com. You can check out we are hosted by Podbean. Over on Podbean.com, we'll be featured on the main website. And I think that is the second week of January. So I believe it's like.
I believe that is correct.
Well, I know the time frame. So that'll be starting on like either the 7th on Sunday or Monday. So it's either the 7th or the 8th. That will be featured all week, and we're gonna have some cool episodes planned for that. But with your schedule being kind of changed, we need to make sure that we are like together for those, because I want for people coming in and new people hearing us, and like I want them to get the show that we've been building for like the last year.
Yes.
Because I feel like this show really has built, and it really has kind of gotten its own little feel and its own groove. Oh, absolutely, in Sudan. I mean, we had a great number of followers over there downloading some of our episodes. So big thank you to all those guys out there. But I feel like the overall ebb and flow of the show has evolved over the last year. Ever since we've kind of added the video, ever since we've been doing it weekly instead of just once to twice a month like we were doing it. Now we've evolved into where we know exactly kind of how we're going to start the show. We know how we're going to end the show. And everything in the middle is just us talking. And and I feel like it has a much better flow, and I want that to be represented for feature week, of course. But we're going to have to iron out those details and just figure out times. But going forward, guys, we're actually going to be trying some new formats and stuff where you might not see exactly this. You might be seeing me, and we might be trying some like webcam stuff or Google Hangouts, whatever. We're going to be doing some experiments, trying to get some other people on the show for when Mike is not available. That way we can still bring you cool and exciting content. And, of course, That's all on video. That's over on our channel on the YouTubes. I can't speak right.
Tubes of you.
On the tubes of you can go and subscribe there, and we now put up a new full episode every Thursday, and we put up like a clip, like a little, like a 10 or 15 minute clip from that episode up on Tuesday that will just be featured in there, and then of course. So it's like Tuesday and Thursday are now our upload days, and then eventually I want to get it to where we have, capture gameplay where that goes up on Mondays. And
Yeah, we
I
can
want
get
us
on
to,
that.
I want to try and have something almost every day. Like I'll have a gameplay day, you'll have a gameplay day, and then we'll have something else, kind of like on Wednesday or something to figure out. But I want to get that ball rolling. But of course, if you listen to us on audio, or if you don't yet, and you're watching on YouTube right now, and you're like, man, these guys are cool to listen to, but I got to go to the car, I got to run to the grocery store, I got to go across the state. Guess what? All you got to do is get just on your little cell phone right here. And if you're on iTunes, we're on iTunes. We're on the podcast app on iTunes. Just search Game Addicts Podcast. We're on the Podbean app, just Game Addicts Podcast on the Podbean app. Stitcher Radio, Google Play Music. You can get us there as well. So we can fit right in your pocket and go all your favorite places with you. Put us over your Bluetooth on your speakers of your car and hear our nose whistles.
Mine's.
Oh, dude, it is so hilarious. Like the mic on the Zoom, on the XY mic, I have to be careful sometimes because if I'm like right here on it and I'm talking for too long and I stop and let like somebody else talk, like when I'm doing Journey to Comics with Nate, I'm sitting here like breathing and you can just hear it. And it's funny because the other person's talking, so you're supposed to be listening to them.
Right.
But I hear it, and then all of a sudden I'm not listening to what he's saying at all, and I just focus in on like my nose breathing and my mouth breathing and all the little things that you do, but you don't notice that you do.
Right.
So thank you guys for checking out this awesome pickup-filled episode of the Game Addicts Podcast. You can check us out and everywhere that I said before. And, of course, we're on social media. We're on the Instagrams at Journey to Comics. No, we're not. That's Game Addicts Podcast. I'm getting my...
Whoa.
I have 3 of these.
Yeah, I know.
And so it's kind of hard to figure out. But you can go check out that one, too. I mean, by all means, we're a part of their network and affiliated. So you can go over there to the Journey to Comics Patreon. There you go. And check out that one. On Instagram, we are Game Addicts Podcast. We are Game Addicts Play on Twitter, Game Addicts Podcast on Facebook. And I think that's all we are. I don't think
we have running right now.
Well, I did download a Snapchat, and I didn't like it, so I got rid of it.
Well, so we're playing on streaming, so you've already snagged that. But we get these lovely little bumps in the road.
It happens. You know what? I'll be honest with you. It's like it's cool doing what you're doing, but I can't wait till you're done with it. That way we get a little bit more time to be able to invest in being able to set up our streaming because I can't wait to start doing that.
I know. I really want to do it, and it's just a lot of it. I can still do it with the time that I've been spending at work. The major problem is that we've had money crisis.
There's that.
And it just, luckily, when we get our bonus, I will have one of those crises paid off.
Yeah. Yep. I don't have a money crisis really right now, but I do have a car crisis because we just got hit again. So
I'm telling you, she has a target every time she's...
Dude, I mean... Be careful, everybody out there. If you're listening and you're driving, be careful and watch out for other people because just because they got that red light doesn't mean that they're going to stop. And unfortunately, we can say that firsthand. But until next time, I've been Brando.
And I've been Mike.
And we will see you next week on the Game Addicts Podcast. See you later, guys.